Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to step 2. You've already done step 1, it's just following all the movements. It's going to be our regular Zoom class with a little more attention on the movement. You already know them. Let's go. Let's get started. So we usually start with the opening movement. You can see the arms come up. You kind of just want to learn the routine first. Arms come up, go into your belly, go up to your chest, reach all the way out. Arms come back. They open and close. They reach out again, and the arms just come down. So you could try to put it in your memory. You don't have to. You could follow me. But in step 2, you're going to want to kind of know the movement so that you could concentrate on different aspects of the movement. So you can notice, see my back rounding as my arms go out. Back is arching. They could be arching when they come up, rounding when they come back, arching when they go out. Right? So the back movements, like you already know the arm movement. So you want to concentrate a little bit more on your back. You could see that even my hip bones are rolling in the chair. My hip is rolling. As I round my back or arch my back, my hip is rolling a little bit. So it's another concentration. You know, hip and back is when you're sitting. It's what the sitting exercises are for. It's for your hip and your back mostly. So this routine, this is an opening movement, and you want to get the movement first. Right, simple arm movements all the way out. See how my back's rounding. I bring it in, back is arching. So when you open and close, you're making sure your shoulder blades are opening and shoulder blades are closing. Right, so we'll just do it one more time and just see, what do you concentrate on? You can see it doesn't matter if your back is arching when your arms go out or is it rounding. You're just trying to pay attention. Which one are you doing? As far as the exercise, it doesn't really matter. So this is the palms coming up. What do your hands feel like? Quick thinking right away. As soon as your palm faces up, what does it feel like? And then you're going around. Look how much my body is turning. Right? My arm doesn't go way back. It goes back because my body is turning, my spine is turning. So whether you're going to the left or to the right, that's the direction your spine is turning. You can see even my hip is moving a little bit, and maybe I'm trying to exaggerate it too much because the hip shouldn't be moving. The hip doesn't have to be moving too much. It's just your spine you want to concentrate on. It doesn't matter how much it moves. You just want to be aware that that's what's bringing your arm back, is the spine moving. And then when your arm is in the back, your palm is up, you know the regular one, right? The palm is up in the back, palm is down in the front in this direction. So the palm's always constantly turning. So that's two big things to think about. Palm turning, spine moving. And this is just the regular to the left and to the right. Look at my arm. My arm doesn't go too far back, right? But my back is twisting a little bit. My spine is twisting a little, as much as it can. It's not a lot, right? It's just going out and sending my arm directly into you, into the camera. But my back is turning a little bit. And I try to do 8 of those, and then 8 on the diagonal. You could see the movement of the hip and then the back. Twisting to get my arm to the left. Twisting a little bit to get my arm to the right. So if you want to add in step 3, this would be keep asking, what do your hands feel like? What do you feel in your hand? You feel any blood flow? So that would be on the next step. We'll concentrate more and more on that. This step is just trying to make sure that your back is turning with your arm and that your shoulder isn't stretching. If you feel anything, too much pain, too much stretching that's what you're doing. You're stretching, and this is not. You got to do less. Maybe your arm isn't as high as you like it to be. It doesn't matter. It's more of a concentration. These are 8 circles in the wrist one way and 8 circles in the wrist the other way. See, nothing else on my arm is moving. It's just the wrist. The arm comes down slow. What is that? It means concentrate. What does your hand feel like? Think about it real quick. What are you feeling in your hands? Adjusting something, I don't know what. Okay, and then the other hand, same thing. See how much the back is turning to get my arm to go back? But see, my arm doesn't go way back past my shoulder. See where it stops? It's right in line with my back. It's not stretching. My shoulder isn't stretching. I know when you look straight on, it looks like my arm's going way back and I'm stretching it way back. But see, my body is turning. That's the advantage of having the side view too, is that you get to see that my back is doing most of the turning. And again, the palm is up when the arm is in the back, and the palm is down when the palm comes forward. Left and right. See how much my shoulder is moving. See how much my back is turning. It's even going down into my hip a little bit, moving on the chair. My knees are moving. You know, everything's moving. You could isolate and try to keep your bottom half of your body still while the back just makes the turn. I don't know if I did that on this video or not, but you could see sometimes when you're watching me, I isolate something. You know, maybe my back is hurting a little bit or something. I try different ways to do it, and that's what you have to do. As long as you're moving slow, you could play around with it. This is the diagonal movement. If you can't touch your shoulder, if it's too much stretching, you don't have to. And if you watch me real close, some days I can't because maybe I slept on my shoulder or something and it's hurting. I just do less movement. I just move less. And again, just take notice of the back moving. Is your back moving? If you're following today, just check. And you might just watch this a little bit first and really concentrate on, what body awareness are you missing or you're not doing. See how far in front of the chair I'm always sitting. Here's those wrist movements again on the opposite wrist. Trying to keep your arm pretty stable and just move your wrist. It doesn't matter how big the circles are. As you come down, that's your clue. What do your hands feel like? This next move is going to be rolling the shoulders back. So just first take notice. See the hip rolling. See the back arching, rounding. That's what makes the movement. So I usually try to do 10. Yep, I'm sitting at the edge of the chair. I'm trying to get the most movement in my back that I can in those 10 quick movements, right? Arching, rounding the back, hip rolling in and out of the chair. It's the most you can do. And then it's going to be 8 quick circles to the back. And it's going to change. And back to, this time, the shoulders are rolling forward. So they're coming up the back, going down the front, opposite of the last one. Right? So as they come up from the back, you can see the back's arching. As they go down the front, the back is rounding. There should be no pain. It's just, whatever you can do. So some days you're going to see if my shoulder's hurting me or my back's bothering me. I'm not going to make this big movement anymore. I'm going to be much smaller. You're always trying to pay attention to what you feel. So then we have our one shoulder making a circle. Your whole back could be moving and turning, or you could isolate the shoulder and just move your shoulder. See which way benefits you. Which one helps you the most? I don't know if I'm going to be doing it in the video, but your back wouldn't be moving. You're just trying to concentrate on just that shoulder joint making the turn. So it's up to you. It's very individualized, how much you move, and it's up to you. Right? So I try to do 8 circles one way and 8 circles the other way. So within that, you could move your back around, turning the spine, or you could try to isolate the shoulder and just move your shoulder joint. If you're uncomfortable in your neck or your shoulders, this or upper back even, this is a good one to do. And then it goes right into using both shoulders, right? And you're trying to really coordinate one going up, one going down, one going up, one going down to the best you could do. Just if I'm moving too fast for you, slow up. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Some days I move a little faster, I'm just going by how I feel, or maybe I see somebody on the screen, whatever, and I slow up. This is going to be, of course, you realize the one shoulder up, one shoulder down. It's kind of trying to relax, keep your back straight, and you're trying to relax the shoulder down as much as possible. If in yoga you do this one, where you put your ear, you bend your head towards the shoulder, if you know how to do that really well, it's okay. You can do that if you want. I don't usually do that, but if you know that one really well, you can do it. This is the shoulders going forward, shoulders going up, shoulders going back. So when they're going back, your back is arching straight up. And then when they go forward, your back is rounding. Again, hip is rolling in the chair. It's coming out, your tailbone coming out of the chair, tailbone going in the chair. Right? This is forward and back. That's all. Arching the back, rounding the back. Sit at the edge of the chair. This is really a good one for any place in your back that's bothering you. Lower back, middle back, upper back. You just can't be in pain when you're doing it. So this is the one with the arms, right? It's just adding on to it. Back is still rounding. Back is arching. Back is rounding. Palms come up. Back is arching. I don't know if you could see it. It's a very subtle movement. But if you see, my elbows move forward a little bit because my collarbone is rolling forward. So instead of it getting locked in the forward position, this movement of pushing your elbows forward a little bit will keep your the collarbone soft. This way it doesn't lock up. You could see my neck is already, over the years, my structure, my neck is going forward a little. So I got to be very conscious of that. So I add those little things of doing it. This one, basically, everything is relaxed, and then the palms open up as wide, the fingers open up as wide as possible. Very relaxed, very relaxed. Fingers open up as wide as possible. In the opposite direction, when your palm turns, the palm turns up, that's when everything opens up. Everything else is relaxed, relaxed, relaxed. Palm turns up. Everything else is relax, 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 and open your fingers as wide as possible. So you're really opening your shoulder blades, closing your shoulder blades. So it's all the same. Arching the back, rounding the back. This is palms opening up. On this one, you're really doing a little bit of a stretch. you could see how my arms are passing my back a little bit. It's because this one, you're allowed to have a little bit of stretching. Shoulder blades open up all the way, but it's got to be comfortable. You can't be in pain. You can't be forcing it. This is just going the opposite way, and you can see the hip is rolling. That's the body awareness in step 2, is the back rounding and the back arching, hip rolling forward, hip rolling back. Okay, this one is as your palms press out, look at the back going back. Palms come in, the back is arching. Palms push out, back is rounding, right? Tailbone comes out of the chair, tailbone goes in the chair, right? So it's that same back movement. The palms, okay, on this one, watch how this gathers. The palms are gathering and they open up, back is arching. Gathering, back is rounding, arching. This could be breathing in, this could be breathing out, and then relaxing on the exhale. Breathing in, relaxing on the exhale all the way. So this is diving down, palms interlocking, fingers interlocking, pressing all the way out. It's up to you how much you want to stretch your fingers. I mean, pain, you definitely stop, but you might want to, on this one, try a few where you don't stretch. So I'm going down, I'm stretching. I'm stretching my fingers a little bit. So if you should do a few where you don't stretch. That means you're not going to go down far. So on the palm, in the prayer pose, I'm trying to keep my palms together. Don't press too hard. It's just as much pressure as you need to keep your fingers kind of straight. If your fingers can't be straight, it's whatever you need to do. This is the same as far as stretching out, your fingers. So something happened. I'm leaving that in the video. Just, I don't know what happened. I could cut it out, but it's part of the class, Somebody must have been talking or something, who knows. Anyway, the stretching out in front is too. You have to be careful about stretching too much. You don't want to kill yourself. And this is the elbows. The elbows try to touch. They don't have to, but they try to touch. You try to keep your palms together, especially at the wrist. When you come down, you don't want the palms to separate. You want the palms to stay together. So don't go too far down where your palms separate. This is just rolling a circle forward, and you could see it's all about the hip and the back, right? The palms are just making a comfortable circle. There should be no pain in your palms. This is an underhand circle. It's coming back to you. So it's just reversed. I try to do, 4, 5, 6 of them. And again, it's just look at the hip rolling in the chair, back arching, back rounding. It's the main thing in step 2. This is twisting the back. Right? Twisting to the left, twisting to the right. Keep those palms together. And this is a circle. Palms are flipping as they make the circle. When I see people on camera, everybody seems to be doing these movements perfect. So it's just up to you. What do your hands feel like? What is your back doing? That could be the two main questions. And one is from step 2 is what is your back doing? Right? What is your elbow doing? What is your wrist doing? And then in step 3, we're going to introduce more and more and more about the feelings that go on in your hands and the blood flow. nicely. So these are ankle movements. We try to make 12 circles one way, 12 the other way. You're basically really just trying to concentrate on moving your ankle. So if you see your leg moving, just try and do a few circles, just your ankle. It doesn't matter how big your circles are. If you want to get more movement in your ankle, then you got to concentrate just on ankle movement. And the circles can get bigger and bigger. You could loosen up a stiff joint there. But by not moving your knee to make it look like you're moving more. Don't forget, half of you guys are not on camera, and the people that are on camera, I can't see your foot. So you don't have to try to do extra because you want me to see you. I'm not judging you. It's whatever your ankle could do. The only thing I would notice is your leg is moving. Well, if your leg's moving, that means you're not concentrating on your ankle. That's all it means. It's still up to you to do that. That's what step 2 is all about, is you concentrating on yourself. Right? So sometimes I look at if my ankle's hurting a little bit, I could see my leg moving. My leg's moving more. I'm trying to make a bigger circle for you guys to see, but I'm moving because my ankle's hurting. So if you're in that same position, you don't have to move your leg. Just make a much, much smaller circle. And think about it. Concentrate on it. Close your eyes and feel it. That's what that's what step 2 is about. Is you being more and more and more inside yourself. You could see, I start the movement, 1 or 2 movements, you know what I'm doing. I'm going to do about 12 of them. So you could close your eyes and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you could open your eyes to make sure. This is, going to the left, turning the soul to the left, turning the soul to the right. Again, I just do it 12 times. So, that's the main thing, is to try to move your ankle more and more and more. Just your ankle. So you can see in both feet, some people ask me, am I sitting, back against the chair? Well, it depends on the chair, but most of the time I have to have my back against the chair. My legs are too long and whatever. So you got to see how you are and what's comfortable for you. And this is just both feet, it's obvious, going in the same direction. I do all different kind of counts, some 5, 6, 7, 9. The counts don't matter. And if you're doing it on your own and you're just trying to see, it's probably better if you do less. Like go slower and really think about it. Especially this one, you go one sole's going in, one sole's going out, and then it's reversing. Just think about it. Make sure you're doing it. That's all. It's just you concentrating on what you're doing. That's what makes it a meditation. And step 2 is all about the concentration on that, to have a little bit of a meditation for stress reduction. The more you think about yourself, that's what's happening, is a reduction of stress. So there's both feet turning in the same direction. And just trying to have a loose ankle. Really trying to relax your leg. It's not easy. And this is, some people can't do the cross depending on their knee operation or hip operation. That's fine. You're just taking it easy. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, they're rolling the back. You can see my hip is moving a little bit. Maybe you want to try to do it without moving your hip a little bit, just to work on the back. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this session, but sometimes you could just round your back and arch your back. You don't have to roll around, and twist it. This is kind of twisting to the left a little bit and twisting to the right a little bit as I go around. You don't have to. So you're trying to find a way that's suitable for you. And of course, there's the opposite way, and you can see my back is staying pretty straight. So I'm just moving from my lower back. But if my lower back was hurting, or if I wanted to work on my middle back or my shoulders, then I would round my back a little bit more and arch my back. Actually, I'm doing that a little bit here. Like I'm rounding my back, you could see, and then arching my back, not going around in a straight back. So I try it different ways to see what makes me feel more relaxed. This, of course, is going side to side, and you're trying to just make a curve in your spine. You're just trying to use those vertebrae. If I'm going too fast for you, just go a little slower. It's fine. Or if I'm going too slow, move a little faster. But you're trying to concentrate and see what do you feel there. You want to feel your back. This is the same. This is going forward and back, straight back and straight forward. And see my back. Oh, now I am doing some rounding my back and arching my back. I don't always do it. It just depends on how I feel, or if I see, somebody on the screen, I make adjustments so that you can make adjustments. Don't be afraid to play around with it a little bit, because this is such a soft movement, like this twisting is such a soft movement. But notice my head doesn't turn. So usually when I'm watching you guys, your neck is doing a lot of the stretching. There's a slow opening. And as you can see, your spine is doing a very weird stretch or twist here. It's making like an S right down the spine. Right? So it's like your side is being pushed to the side. Right, your rib cage being pushed to one side and then the other. So this is going to the opposite side. Turn all the way, go down, stay watching the back. Watch. It goes to hit the knee, turn a little bit, turn, and go down while you're looking backwards. Try to do it without looking. You don't have to look at me when you go down. I just go down a little bit and come back up. It's not a perfect speed. This is me just doing my speed, or maybe if there's a few people that I can see on screen, I'm trying to slow you up or speed you up, something. So you got to pay attention to yourself. I go down 7 times. If you only go down 5 times because you're moving slower, who cares? It's fine. It's better to do it right than to do a lot of it. So you can see the twisting of the back as the arm goes out and around. It's rounding the back, arching the back. Right? Twisting to the left, twisting to the right. And then rounding the back as the arm goes down. And you don't have to force it. You're just doing the best you can as you go around. Don't try to stretch extra or hurt yourself. This is actually doing less. This is just my back in its natural motion. I'm not going a little extra to the side. I'm really not. I stop basically when my back stops me. I don't do that little extra stretch. Sometimes if you see the way the camera is facing, it looks like I'm doing a lot of stretching. Or I'm moving big, so everybody tries to move big. It's really not. I'm doing it in, it's my relaxed way. And if I don't feel good one day, or for whatever the reason, I do less. This is maybe 80% of what I could do. And if I'm not feeling good, I do 70% of what I can do. Just keep less and less and less, so you can just do the movement and not feel any stress in the body. And that's what a meditation is. You're trying to do the movement and stay within a safe range of movement. So you can see the arms on this, it doesn't really mean anything, right? But look at my back is arching, and I'm rolling in the chair, tailbone's going in the chair, tailbone coming out of the chair, rounding my back, arching the back. This is a good time to see, well, how are you breathing in this movement? Going straight down. Palms go around, go up the back, over the shoulder, down again. Again, try to make sure that you're not stretching too much. All right, and then it's out to the side. Same thing, back is rounding, back is arching. Palms are not really, you can see how bent my elbows are, right? At the end, my elbows are really bent. I'm not stretching at all. It's just going out to the side a little bit. My shoulder blades are closing, my shoulder blades are opening at that point. Right, and this is just reaching up, same thing. This could be breathing in, this could be breathing out. It could be reversed. You're just trying to pay attention. How's your breathing? What do your palms feel like? These are movements to, we'll talk about this in the next step, but these are like trying to open up the energy centers. There's 3 of them that Tai Chi uses. There's a lower, a middle, and a high, and this is the lower one. This is, how do your palms feel? Every time they stop for 1 second, how do they feel? These are circles. There's 6 circles. And you're trying to get to your elbow to elbow, right? Your palm is, I'm going too fast here, but my palm is reaching one elbow and the opposite palm. See how that palm turns around the elbow? That's what that's about. This is just creating, that created some energy, and now you're trying to take the energy that you just created in the air. You know how they, if they have a candle lit or incense, they try to take it in their body. That's what that movement kind of simulates. This is breathing in and breathing out. This is taking all the energy out and letting it go. All right, taking in all this kind of free. It's just in with the good, out with the bad. Pretty good. Right, so these are the ones we always do, and it's just relaxing and throwing out. There's really not, you're not stiffing up. It looks like you should be doing, something really strong, but really you're not. Everything's relaxed. Even it's just a relaxed throw out. You could think you're throwing out all the negative or toxic stuff in your body. All the movements are kind of relaxed. This one, make sure you're not stretching your shoulders so that you're in some, distress or something. This is just very easy. Look, my elbows are, my elbows weren't way past my shoulders. This is just going down. You can see, look at my wrist, how loose. It's just very loose. I'm not trying to force anything out of my body or anything. It's just thinking. So your fingers are going in and out just to get some blood to circulate. And then this is, but look at my elbows, hardly stretching out. It's just very, very soft. Just a little bit of a stretch at the end. And as your arms come down, what do your hands feel like? You can see, how to move. I move back a little bit in the chair. It's what's comfortable for me to pick up my leg, that's all. So you got to figure it out, what's good for you. I do at least 30 or 32, sometimes 34 of these, it depends. Depends on how I feel. I don't really see you guys. I can't really see your legs most of the time. Sometimes I see your knee coming up. So it's just soft movements. You don't have to do them all. If your hip is hurting, don't do so many. This is hitting the opposite side. Knee comes up, your palms touch the knee. Right? So that would be the first thing. Your palm touches the knee. I think everybody's able to do that now without too much problem. But look, I put my palm up and then it turns. Palms faced up and then it turns onto the knee. So I start with the palm near the knee, at the height of the knee, and then it turns onto the knee. It's just something else to think about. You could just hit the knee. You can do that. So this slows you up a little bit and gives you something else to think about. The palm faces up, then hits the knee. Okay, so this is the one. It's opposite, right? Your knee is going up, and then the opposite palm is facing the knee. And then look at my palm when it comes around on this side again. Right? Palm goes near the knee and then turns. The palm's faced up near the knee and turns near your ear. So just do a few slow. Don't worry if you get mixed up on a bunch. Once you figure it out, then you'll have it. You just got to think about it a little bit. And that's the meditative part. You're thinking about it and trying to figure it out. And then on the last one, you're going to see as it switches, one palm is facing the knee, just like before, and the other arm is going up towards the ear. So both palms go faced up by the knee. Look. And then one turns and faces the ear, and the other one faces, hits the knee. So they're both faced up. So in other words, when your legs are coming up, your palms are turning either to the ear or to the knee. Don't worry about it. Just think about it a little bit. If it's, if this is something you want to go over, if you want to really try to do it, you could just tell me, and we'll just have a little session of doing it. It's important to add on something to make you keep thinking in the exercise. That's why it becomes meditative, and the movements get a little slower. There's a lot to think about. Right, so these are just the normal kickouts, nothing fancy, right? It's just, I think I do like 6 of these. It's just pushing your knee, you're picking your knee up first, then bringing the knee back. Right, and then you'll have the toe going out. 4 of these, the toe kicks out. Knee comes up, toe kicks out, knee comes back, right? Some people just go straight down. It's okay. This one is the heels being forced out a little bit, right? So your toe is coming back towards yourself. It's really good for the hamstring, behind the leg, you might feel it. And you're doing some stretching here, so just be careful. And don't kill yourself. It's just light stretching. These are opening up your hip. And again, if you had a hip operation or a knee operation and you're not supposed to do certain things, or this is too much for you, do it half, only do a few, whatever you know what to do. Just don't force anything. So you can see I do both sides. Sometimes I do 8 movements, 9 movements, 10 movements. It depends on time sometimes. But it's pretty relaxed and comfortable. You're not forcing. It's not stretching more than what you could do. My knee opens, my hip opens. It's as far as I can go. I can go a little further by stretching. Right? These are just circles. And again, this is supposed to be affecting your hip. So when you had enough, you're stopping. Right? I've been doing this, so now I'm up to about 8 circles one way and 8 circles the other way. If you could only do 2 circles, or and it's killing you, or 4 circles, or whatever, that's it for you. Don't worry about it, and just do the other way. The more you do it, the more circles you're going to be able to do. It really does loosen up the hip and strengthen the ligaments quickly. You'll notice if you did it for 5 days and couldn't add on one, then I wouldn't believe that you could do it. It's a very powerful movement. So if you want to increase, just do minimal, do whatever is comfortable, and then every other day maybe you'll add on 1 circle. And you'll see your ligaments and tendons that are holding your hip together, it's not the muscle, they will increase. So it is just 1 palm up, 1 palm down, right? It's just flipping, goes out to the side. What does your hand feel like? This is just making sure that your elbow could twist, your wrist could twist, and your shoulder could twist. You could do the movement strictly from the shoulder and not twist your elbow or wrist or fingers. So you could try both ways and see which way benefits you. This is really good if you have carpal tunnel or anything with your shoulder, with your elbow, or wrist. So it's a little bit okay with the fingers. You're getting a little bit of stretch, but not that much. But those 3 joints, the wrist, elbow, and shoulder, is really this is really a good workout, especially if you have any problem like carpal tunnel or anything like that. These are good stretches for that. And of course, on the way down, you're thinking, well, what does your hand feel like? Come on, you guys know that now. Okay, so this is both palms up, both palms down, a little bit of a twist. You could see I'm going a little bit past just facing down. So, but that's, I'm not stretching. That's my normal way. I probably could turn a little bit more, but I don't. I'm just doing very relaxed. This you might have to pay attention to because your palms are going to cross and you're still flipping. So some people just have a hard time doing that. You just have to take your time and figure it out. And of course, this is 1 palm up and 1 palm down. If you close your eyes, you can sort of see better or feel better that 1 palm is up and 1 palm is down. When they go out to the side, a lot of people start flipping and they're doing both palms up and both palms down again. So sometimes you got to look at your hand and make sure you're doing 1 palm up and 1 palm down through the whole thing. And if you watch your hands when your wrists are crossed like that, it's easier. And you have to force your hands to do what you want them to do. And this is just breathing in, breathing out. And you're pressing into your stomach, and we'll talk about that in step 3, but it's you're gathering all this nice clean energy and pushing it back into you so that you're building up your own energy system. So you can see there's a few basic things to remember, mostly about sitting. I keep saying it's about the back. You're rounding the back, arching the back, twisting from left to right, bending from left to right. Everything is done very easily. You're trying not to stretch into any kind of pain. It's just what your range of movement is. It doesn't matter how much you move. So that's what you pay attention to when you're sitting. The standing, of course, is more about weight bearing into your legs, ankles, knees, hip. So this shifting of the weight when we first get started is to move gently and just see, is your knee hurting? Is your ankles are hurting? If it's too much pain, you have to sit down. This twisting, you could see, just take a look. I go to one side and turn in. I turn my body into it, right? I don't know if I do it on this one where I show you what the outside looks like, but this is turning in, right? So I shift to the right and same thing. Shift to the right, turn to the left, right? Shift to the left, turn to the right. See how I'm shifting and turning in, turning my body in. I don't know how else to say it, but if I show going, I don't know if I show going out on this one, but then you could see the difference. If you have any questions about this, you could always ask me in the class. This reaching out, notice my elbow doesn't lock, right? It's still bent a little bit. So you're kind of stretching, and your weight is on one side, and you're kind of reaching to the other side. See, my weight is on my right, and I'm reaching to the left. So try to be aware of that. Go slower. Tell me to slow up so that you can see the picture, you can see and follow. It's not the other way. I'll show you live. If you have any questions, I could show you live the opposite. But this is turning in. It's turning your hip into itself. And then it goes into two loose fists. And the idea of this one is that your shoulders are not moving. Your arms are not moving. All you're doing is turning your waist. And most standing is going to be that kind of concentration. Your spine, your back isn't twisting. The turning is all from your waist. So your waist is turning, your knees are kind of twisting, and your ankles are twisting. Right? Not force. You could just sit there, gently go to one side, gently go to the other side. And it's turning in. Then the palms open up. It's like holding a basketball. Right, so they go to one side, they go in the middle, fingers are straight, go to the opposite side. You're trying to maintain the same distance apart as if you are really literally holding a ball. And it is about the size of a basketball. Yours might be a little bit bigger, yours might be a little bit smaller. It's whatever's comfortable. And you're trying to coordinate so that you finish with the ball when your hip finishes. And then you could, ask yourself, what do your hands feel like? On the last one, you're going to see I kind of reach all the way out in front, get ready, and then open up. So on the first one, you'll get to see how far open can you go without any pain in your shoulder. Not really stretching. It's just the best you can do without any pain, without any feeling in your shoulder. You could be bending your knees a little bit and then come up. You could try it. If it's too uncomfortable, you're not doing it. These are the ones we always do. It's kind of just reaching out. The palm, if you want to become a little bit more aware of your palm movements. So when my palms are facing each other. Now my palms are down. When I come up, it's the back of your hands are kind of reaching for each other. Right? And then they roll out. So the palms are constantly turning. So when they're down, they're facing each other. When they're coming up to your chest, the back of the hand is kind of facing each other. And then as they reach out, the palms are facing the floor. So watch my wrist, because the wrist lead the movement. When the movement is finished going up, my wrist is on top. And then when my arm finishes down below, my fingers are up, not down. So it's just paying attention to that. And that would be another thing too. This is still the same. Wrist going up, it's like your wrists are very loose, that's all. You're just doing the best you can on it. But the more you pay attention and slow your movement up, even though it is a little faster, this is swaying back and forth, left to right, left to right. Right, and the hands are moving as if they're like a flag. They're just the wrists are very soft, that's all. And as the arms come down, what do your hands feel like? So you can see I'm sitting on one side and turning to the opposite side. So I'm moving to my right, I'm turning to my left. Both palms are kind of facing each other. The fingers are reaching all the way out to the wall. But you could see my arm isn't stretched out at all. But in my mind, I'm kind of stretching as far as I can to the wall. And this is trying to maintain the balance. Try not to jump up and down too much. This is going to be just pressing out to the side and release. Right? Because you're locking your wrist kind of here a little bit. So you want to release it quickly. And how are you breathing on this one? Just pay attention. How are you breathing? The basic thing in Qigong, though, is most of the breath is in and out of your nose and your mouth is closed. This is going the opposite way. Most people go above their head with their arms on this one, but really this is supposed to be just rolling a little bit above your shoulder, right? Not above your head. And your back is kind of really rounding there and really arching and back to rounding. And the arms going down slow. What do your hands feel like? And reaching up to the opposite side again. Right? This is diagonal. Arms are going right across your body. On this one, your heel, see how my heel's coming up? So just be careful that you are not throwing yourself off balance. This is a figure 8 kind of, right? Palms are turning, they're kind of facing each other in the figure 8. And notice my feet are kind of solid on the ground. The heel does not come up on that one. And again, what are you feeling now? What kind of blood flow do you feel in your body? So this is the rocking. One foot is in front, one in the back, toe up, heel up. It's just very comfortable rocking. And if your knees are hurting, switch feet as much as you can. You don't even have to wait for me. The main thing that this is very, very soft. It should feel like you're not doing anything. If you're pushing too fast or too hard, you're going to feel something in your legs. This is very, very gentle. This is both palms are facing each other and they're just going in and out with a rhythm, same rhythm as your feet. So it doesn't, you could see how many movements we make, during the class. It doesn't really matter what you do. You're just trying not to throw yourself off balance and to just keep the rocking rhythm forward and back. Switch feet if your knee is hurting. And if you're in too much pain and you can't adjust, don't just stop. This is not endurance. This is supposed to be a very relaxing, meditative motion. So, if your hands are facing each other, what do they feel like again? This is a underhand circle. The palms are coming into your body. You can see sometimes my palms are facing my body, so I'm turning my wrist a little bit. Sometimes they stay facing each other. It depends on what you're thinking. But you're trying to just be aware. What are you doing? There's no right or wrong. But what are you doing? So this is like they're rolling on top of a water. What do you feel if your hands were brushing along a nice warm pool of water? What would that feel like in your hands? This rocking could go on for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. I mean, sometimes we do it for 2 minutes or something. This just happens to be a long one. This one is I could see my fingers are kind of diving into this water a little bit, so I'm probably thinking about, what do my fingers feel like in there. just notice how I just keep changing feet very easily. So same for you. Just keep changing very easily. Don't make it a big deal. And you can just see, you can do whatever you want. I'm just showing you here some different movements. If you take a look at the rocking video, on the website, there's a lot more talking about it. And it looks like now we're going to get ready for the shaking. So, yeah, basically the standing is shifting the weight. Shaking is, of course, you do whatever you want. Just remember, there's not too much stretching. It's really trying to bounce. You could do one thing that you like over and over and over. You don't have to do anything fancy. I think you could see I do basically the same movements. I like this movement. I like this one. Sometimes I do this one sitting or standing by itself. Just turning the rope or cloudy hand movements is useful. The basic idea is just that you're trying to feel a little relaxed and let go and, throw out all the toxic material and just get it shaking out of your body. Sometimes the shaking comes from if you see an animal and they get, they're scared or something happens, they shake. What are they doing? Well, they're shaking all that stuff off. Humans don't get a chance to shake their negative stress off. So that's why in Qigong the shaking has become a pretty popular way to help reduce stress. And I think this is a 2-minute, we do it for 2 minutes at the end of all the classes. And yeah, so there's a lot to say about stretching and shaking. So if you guys are interested, all you have to do is ask me some questions, and we could talk after the class if everybody's not interested or before. Okay, so that's about it for step 2, and we'll go over what the important things are about any movement, and it's whatever you guys want to do. Whatever your interest is, that's what we'll do. All right, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining in my Zoom classes. I really appreciate it, seeing you guys, and I hope you guys get as much benefit out of it as I do. You just need to move. You need to keep moving, and you need to get that blood to circulate. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Okay, see you guys next time. In the meantime, you could pick 1 or 2 movements that you like and try to really concentrate on the movement. And, what do your hands feel like? What is your palm doing? Some movement that you like that you could pay attention to, and just spend more and more time doing it over and over. And again, ask me in class if you have any questions. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.